Breaking news: Southport stabbings caused by knife. Axel Rudakubana's murder of 3 children and wounding of others at a Taylor Swift dance class shocked the nation last summer and served as the spark which ignited the riots. It is therefore with great relief that I can report that the government and their media lackeys have finally worked out what the problem is. Is it the fact that he was referred to PREVENT, the government program designed to identify and de-radicalize potential terrorists, on 3 separate occasions? Is it the fact that the police had visited the family home numerous times in the months leading up to the attack? Is it the fact that up to 40,000 potential Islamic terrorists are on a government watch list? These are all reasonable questions, of course, which is precisely why they're not being asked. Instead, Home Secretary Yvette Cooper today explained that it was a total disgrace that the murderer was easily able to order a knife on Amazon despite having a previous conviction for violence and being just 17. The Prime Minister, Keir Starmer, described Rudakubana as the 2-click killer. The result? Cooper has promised to bring in stronger measures to tackle knife sales online in the Crime and Policing Bill this spring. Rejoice, citizens of Great Britain! Your safety is now assured. And if, for some reason, you're not satisfied by this approach, help is available. Radio presenter James O'Brien, the undisputed leader of Britain's moron industrial complex, whose job it is to tell normies what to believe in order to avoid the cognitive dissonance of having to face reality, is on hand to help. He begins reasonably enough by pointing out that the killer bought his knife on Amazon. Why is this significant? After all, Rudakubana could have simply taken a knife from his parents' kitchen, or waited a week for his 18th birthday and bought a knife from any shop in the country. It's significant, O'Brien explains, because
Amazon, of course, is owned by Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos was sitting in the row behind Donald Trump at the latter's inauguration.
Ooh, how quickly the plot thickens. O'Brien continues this stunning bout of investigative journalism by exclusively revealing that one of the thousands of videos Rudakubana watched before committing his crimes was published on X, which, as you all know, is owned by Elon Musk, who not only got on stage at the inauguration, but did the Nazi salutes, according to James O'Brien.
The man who owns the platform that still hosts and holds the footage that the Southport killer looked before he set off to that Taylor Swift dance class. He was not just sitting in the row directly behind Donald Trump. He is the guy that got on stage and did the Nazi salute.
Musk, of course, did no such thing, but was instead misrepresented by people like James O'Brien in a way that they would never do with politicians whose views they like and support. O'Brien concludes by stating that he is not given to hyperbole before suggesting that Bezos and Musk, 2 men who had nothing whatsoever to do with the Southport stabbings, are in fact the people we should be focusing on.
The aligning of these planets is at the very least notable. But what the hell can a British government do to rein them in? Because that is the fight that they've picked.
If you are somehow shocked by these developments, I envy you. Those of us who comment on these issues regularly are beginning to see a pattern. In 2021, Sir David Ames, the Member of Parliament for Southend West, was stabbed to death by Ali Harbi Ali, a British citizen of Somali descent with Islamist links. What was the response of David's colleagues? To bang on about online hate as if their friend had been killed by a tweet. The sad reality is that we live in a society that is absolutely determined to avoid unpleasant truths in the false belief that if we bury our heads in the sand, our problems will go away. They won't. Contrary to popular myth, even ostriches do not actually bury their heads in the sand, because it's stupid and it doesn't work. But that won't stop the government from trying, and idiots like O'Brien from egging them on. If you enjoy these videos, you should know that they go out on my Substack days, weeks, sometimes months ahead of time. So head on over there now by clicking the link in the description and subscribe. I use Ground News every day to cut through the noise and find the truth. They gather articles from over 50,000 news sources around the world and help you break free from big tech algorithms and echo chambers, something that's incredibly important in our polarized time. Go to ground.news/trigonometry to see how it works. A feature I rely on is the blind spot feed, which highlights stories that are disproportionately covered by either the left or the right. With this, I know I'm never missing important news. It's great for recognizing your own biases and gaining a balanced perspective. Here's a story that is getting no coverage on the right whatsoever. Russia open to hearing Trump's proposals for ending the war, an official says. And here's one that doesn't appear in left-leaning outlets. Majority of Americans support Trump's plan to declare emergency at the border. Ground News helps you see the bigger picture with insights like the number of sources reporting, their reliability, and their bias distribution across the political spectrum. You can't get this type of news analysis anywhere else. Trigonometry viewers who subscribe through our link can get 40% off their unlimited access Vantage plan, the same plan that we use. Just click the link in the description or scan the QR code and subscribe at ground.news/trigonometry. Your subscription helps Ground News bring transparency back to the media, which is something I fully endorse.